Hey Chanakyans of grade 6, welcome to the video session. In this video, we are going to learn Geography chapter 6, Major Landforms of the Earth. Before start the lesson, I would like to share a small thought for this day. Please lend your ears for a small story and we'll learn something new today. One day, a teacher asked her students to write their name on the balloon and she asked them to put it in the corridor. So every students with excitement, they have written their name on the balloon and they throw the balloon on the corridor. After some times, even all the students finish writing their name, finish throwing the balloon in the corridor. The teacher gave 5 minutes to pick their own balloons. The students were given 5 minutes time. Within that 5 minutes time, they have to pick their own balloons. They will start searching. After 2 minutes, they cannot. After 3 minutes also, they couldn't find their balloons. Once the time got over, even though they could not find the balloon. So after that, a teacher said, pick the first balloon and check the name, give the balloon, hand it over the balloon to the person whose name is written on the balloon. And within 5 minutes, all the students got their own balloons, which means just imagine the balloon is the happiness. When you try to search your own happiness, you cannot find. When you try to give the happiness to the others, you will get your own. Clear? Yes. Now shall we move on to the lesson? Yes. What are we going to learn? Chapter 6, Major Landform of the Earth. Come on. Children, in this video, we are going to explore the following topics. First, we are going to see the introduction part, processes that change Earth's surface, mountains, plateaus, plains, landforms, landforms and people, uses of water, uses of land, Swachh Bharat mission, and finally we are going to recapitulate the lesson. Say as introduction, the Earth's surface is not the same, isn't it? The Earth's surface is not the same. You can see so many landforms, the various physical features like river, plateaus, plains, and so on. Have you ever wondered how these differences occur? Let's find how it is. Let's find out the reason how it has become the different landforms. First, let's start with plains. See, children, do you know what are landforms? Do you know what are landforms? That is, any natural feature found on the earth is called a landform. They can be as long as a continent or as small as a pond. The geologists study how the landforms are created and interact with each other. See here the processes that changes Earth's surface. We are going to see the process. This can be broadly categorized into two, that is external process and internal process. Even the external process includes two types. They are gradation and weathering. The gradation, again, it's classified into three, that is erosion, transpiration, and deposition. If you take weathering, it takes the different process. Move on to internal processes. Even this internal processes, again, it's divided into one, that is tectonic movement. The tectonic movement includes earthquake, volcanic eruption, and mountain buildings. Now let's see one by one. The external process. It is the continuous weathering of higher elevation landforms such as mountains, plateau, etc., and deposition of materials into low lands. It operates through external agents such as running water, ice, and wind. and this external process is a slow and gradual process. It is slow and gradual process. The earth's surface is being continuously changed by two external processes, that is erosion and the weathering. The Grand Canyon is a perfect example for weathering and erosion, shaping the landscape over a long period of time. The wearing away of the landscape by different agents is termed as erosions. These agents are gravity or flowing media such as water, wind, ice, etc. Can you see the different landforms in the image? Yes, the transportation and deposition of weathered materials is a continuous process. This is the transportation by wind, and let's see the weathering. The breakdown and alternation of rocks on the earth due to exposure to the atmosphere is the weathering. So you can see so many weathering processes. Then let's see the climate. The climate, chemical reaction and vegetation are some of the causes behind weathering. One, internal processes. These are the forces within the earth that build up gradually, and they result in the sudden movement of the earth's crust. They lead to the upliftment and sinking of the earth's surface. Say, for example, you can take mountains and the plateau, etc. So, these processes lead to the formation of different types of landforms on the earth. Okay, children, this is time to check your knowledge, check your understanding. The question: the continuous movement within the earth is called the continuous movement within the earth is called the hint sudden movement. Yes, the answer is internal process. What is the answer? The internal process. Next, move on. Mountains. We are going to learn about mountains. The natural elevation of landform is the mountain. What is the meaning of mountain? See, a mountain is a large landform that rises above the surrounding land in a limited area. This is usually in the form of a peak. A mountain is generally considered to be steeper than a hill. The mountains are formed through tectonic forces or volcanisms. Understand? And these forces can locally raise the surface of the earth. The mountains erode slowly through the action of river, weather conditions, and glaciers. A few mountains are isolated summits, but most occur in huge mountain ranges. Is it clear? The glacier is a large mass of ice slowly moving down a valley. The glacier is a large mass of ice slowly moving down a valley. The mountain range. What is the meaning of mountain range? Can you tell me? The mountain range or hill range is a series of mountains or hills ranged in a line and connected by high ground. Okay, it will be connected by high ground. A mountain system or mountain belt is a group of mountain range with similarity in form of the structural and alignment that have arisen from the same causes. The mountain range is a series or chain of mountains that are close to each other. Move on. If you take hilly places, what is the hilly areas? The landform which is the surface that rises higher than the surrounding area is called hills. For example, Nilgiri Hills. One types of mountains. So it is based on the process of formation. The types of mountain is based on the process of formation, and there are three types of mountains. They are, what are the three types? They are volcanic fold and plateau, fold, block, and dome. See the first one, fold mountains, next block mountain, and volcanic mountains. These are the three types of mountains. Now let's see fold mountains. The folding of this mountain is created because of the crust, the folding of crust. Can you see the fold mountains? Yes, these are the examples of fold mountains. Now children, let's watch a video and then we'll continue the lesson. Shall we? Yes.
What is a mountain? A mountain is a landform that is higher and steeper than a hill. Mountains are made from rocks and earth. Generally, mountains are higher than 600 meters. Where are mountains found? Mountains exist on every continent and even beneath our great oceans. They cover 1/5 of the Earth's land surface and occur in 75% of the world's countries. Mountains form in different ways. Sometimes the crust is folded and buckled, and sometimes it breaks into huge blocks. In both the cases, great areas of land are lifted upwards to form mountains. Other mountains are formed by the Earth's crust rising into a dome. Or by volcanic activity when the crust cracks open. Based on their mode of formation, four types of mountains can be distinguished: fold mountain, block mountain, volcanic mountain, dome mountain. Fold mountains. Fold mountains are the most common type of mountain. The world's largest mountain ranges are fold mountains. These ranges were formed over millions of years. There were long periods of quiet between Earth movements, during which sedimentary rocks, thousands of meters thick, formed in huge depressions called geosynclines. Rivers carried sediments and deposited them into the depressions. Over millions of years, the sediments were compressed into sedimentary rocks such as sandstone and limestone. These sedimentary rocks were then forced upwards into a series of folds by the movement of tectonic plates. Sometimes the folds were simple upfolds, anticlines, and downfolds, synclines. Fold mountains are found in many parts of the world as they form along the plate boundaries where great earth movements have taken place. Fold mountains have been formed at times in the Earth's geological history called Mountain building periods. Recent mountain building movements have created the Himalayas, the Alps, the Rockies, and the Andes, some of which are still rising. For this reason, many of these ranges are called young fold mountains. Some examples of fold mountains include Himalayan mountains in Asia. The Himalayan mountains were formed when India crashed into Asia and pushed up the tallest mountain range on the continents. The Alps in Europe, the Rockies in North America, the Urals in Russia, the Andes in South America. The Andes Mountains were formed by the collision of South American continental plate and the Oceanic Pacific plate.
Now let's see the plateaus. So what is plateau? Do you know what is plateau? Which means the plateau is a land, it will be flat on the top, an elevated landform that rises sharply above the surrounding area on that least on side. So the one side will be very least, and on the top it will be flat like a table, and this plateau is also called tableland. The plateaus occur on every continent and take up a third of the Earth's land. Take up the third of the Earth's land, and they are one of the four major landforms along with mountains, plains, and hills. Clear? See, example of the plateau is Western Plateau in Australia. Can you see the plateaus? The Deccan Plateau in India is one of the oldest plateau. The benefits of plateaus are, see it is, see it has more minerals and the energy resources. So it is the hub of mining industries. It is the hub of mining industries, and lava plateaus rich in fertile black soil, which is good for agriculture. And it is also a great place for tourist spots because of the view. And the plateau regions has several waterfalls used for hydroelectricity. See here, the height of the plateau is 4,000 to 6,000 meters above mean sea level. They are the plateau. Which plateau are these? The Tibetan Plateau. The highest railway station in the world is situated on the Tibetan Plateau. Move on to plains. What is plain? A landform is a feature on the earth's surface that is part of the terrain. The mountains, hills, plateau, and plains are the four major types of landform we learned, isn't it? Yes. Which means the plains or the place which has the flat surface. It is suitable for residential and for many agricultural activities. And for many agricultural activities. Is it clear? Yes. A plain is a flat, sweeping landmass that generally does not change much in elevation. The plains occur as low land along valley or and the doorstep of mountains as coastal plains and as plateau or uplands. See, if you take a valley, a plain is enclosed on two sides. But in other cases, a plains may be delineated by a complete or partial ring of hills or by the mountains. Clear? So, it is thickly populated because flat land available for building and houses. Okay. And see here, road transportation. It is suitable for road transportation as well as for the railway network. The transportation network can be easily constructed. So on plain, the transportation network can be easily constructed. And see here, the fertile soil is easily available in the plain area and it is easy to carry out cultivation. Now let's see the formation of lands. These are formed by rivers and their distributions. The rivers flow down the mountain slopes and erode them. They carry forward the eroded material and deposit their load. Their load consists of stones, sand, and silt, etc. These deposits form plains. Now let's watch a video related to it and then we'll continue the lesson.
Plains are the flat area with low height. The height of plains cannot be precisely defined in reference to the sea level because some plains are below the sea level. Example, coastal plain of Netherlands. Some plains are only few meters above sea level. Example, Delta Plain of Bangladesh. While some plains are hundreds of meters of the sea level. Example, Eastern Mississippi Plain. Plains found on Earth's surface have been formed in different ways as follows. Most of the plains have been originated due to upliftment or emergence of submerged land masses under epicontinental seas due to diastrophic movements. Example, the Great Plain of USA. Plains are formed due to filling of depressions with sediments, which are created in front of mountains during the process of orogenesis. Example, the Northern Plain and the Yamuna Plains of India. Sometimes the middle part of geosynclines remain unfold after the formation of bordering ranges on both the margins of the geosynclines, example Hungarian plains. Sometimes coastal lands are submerged under seawater because of transgressional of sea. Example, the eastern coastal plain in India. Submerged coastal lands emerge as marine coastal plains due to withdrawal seawater during regressional phases of sea. Example, the plain of India. Deposition of enormous volume of lavas over extensive area gives birth to lava plains. Example, black soil area of South India. Extensive plateaus after prolonged denudation become plains.
Yes, have you watched the formation of plains? Yes, now let's see the features of plains. The agriculture is the main occupation of the people. The density of population in the plain is very high. Now it is the time to check your understanding. The question, Aravallis in India are example of dash. Hint, formed due to tectonic movements. The answer is fold mountains. What is the answer? Fold mountain. Is it clear? Yes. Move on to the landforms and people. The different landforms force people eh, to live different lifestyle, isn't it? Yes. The different landforms makes the people have the different experience. For example, hilly people will be in extreme cold, sometimes in extreme hot also. At the coastal area, people will be in the warm climate. And the landforms are different in say on earth it will be different landforms. Is it clear? Yes. So if you take a landform is a feature on the earth's surface that is part of the terrain, that is the part of the terrain. See, there are four types of major landforms. They are mountains, hill, plateau and plains, isn't it? Yes. The minor landforms include buttes, canyon, valley, and basins. Move on. Life in mountain. So the life in mountain will be different because there will be only few people living in mountain areas. See, the life is difficult due to the rough and uneven terrains, and the extreme temperature will be there in the mountain. The cultivation is very difficult due to the uneven terrains. During summer, people are busy in cultivating barley, potatoes, peas, beans, etc. The winters are so harsh that people mostly remain indoor. Next, let's see the life in plains. Most useful area for human habitation is plains. The roads and houses are easy to construct. Growing crops and rearing livestock is easy in plains. The highly productive land for cultivation. It is highly productive land for cultivation. The densely populated area is plains. Now let's see the uses of water. Agriculture receives a greater share of the annual water allocation in India. Around 70% of India's usable water is devoted to this sector. Say by 2025, this share will be more than 70%. The domestic consumption accounts for 8% of the annual fresh water withdrawals in India. The industrial sector is the second highest user of water after agriculture. And see here what are the causes of water scarcity. They are erratic and uneven rainfall, urbanization and industrialization, lack of fresh water, increase in population and expansion in agriculture. These are the causes of water scarcity. Now let's see management and conservation of water. To balance out erratic and uneven rainfall, to overcome the lack of irrigation facilities, to harness the water resources that are not fully utilized, to tackle flood and drought conditions, to make the best use of available water resources. Clear? Now let's see the uses of land. Land is used for the many purpose, isn't it? Yes. Mainly the land not available for cultural. So if you take the land not available for cultural, can you imagine what are the places which are not available for cultivation? They are the land put to non cultural uses. For example, building, the shops, malls, road, they are the non agricultural uses of land. And barren and wasteland. The other uncultivated lands are the permanent pasture and grazing lands. Grazing lands in the sense in the valleys. They will not be included in the cultivated areas. And the land under miscellaneous tree crops growing. So miscellaneous trees will be growing, no? Such kind of lands will not be utilized for agriculture. And the cultural wasteland, which means it is not cultivated for many years. Forest, fallow lands. If you take fallow lands, current fallow land, which means the the land which is not cultivated for more than 5 years for agricultural purpose, other than current fallow land left uncultivated for past 1 to 5 agricultural year. And net sown area sown more than once in an agricultural year. Move on, land degradation. So let's see the factors affecting land degradation. The factors are construction activities, urban development and industrial development, agricultural activity. These are the factors affecting land degradation. So let's see how to control the land degradation. Say the proper disposal of industrial waste. So if we dispose the industrial waste properly, we can avoid land degradation. And it is very essential to achieve the objective of development. And effort should be made to involve people actively in the project activities, and the respecting the traditional knowledge and experimental ethics are also important. Now let's see Swachh Bharat mission. As everyone knows, a healthy mind live in a healthy body, isn't it? Yes. The prerequisite for a healthy body is clean environment, particularly clean water, clean air, clean hygienic surroundings, isn't it? Yes. So the government of India, with an objective of achieve all these, launched Swachh Bharat mission, or it is also called Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So they launched this Swachh Bharat mission on 2nd October 2014. That is the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. A sense of responsibility for cleanliness has been evoked among the common people of India through this mission. The aims to achieve its objective of Clean India by 2nd October 2019. Okay, children, this is time to recapitulate the lesson. Now let's summarize it. Okay. So we learned there are various types of landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, so on, isn't it? Yes. So these landforms are formed due to internal process and the external process. So if you take three types of mountains, they are fold mountain, block mountain, and volcanic mountains. And one by one, we learnt about plateau, plain, water, so on, isn't it? Yes. The importance of plateaus, waterfall. So in the plateau areas, we can find many waterfalls. In the plain, if you take plain, it is the suitable area for the living people living. It is highly populated, it is suitable for agricultural development, high density population area, and it is suitable for industrialization. Now let's move on to glossary words. So the first glossary word is glaciers. The permanently frozen river of ice in the mountains are known as glaciers. Next, graben. The lowered block between two normal fault is known as graben. Horst. The uplifted block between two normal flats is known as horst. The mountains, which means it is any natural elevation of the earth's surface, and any hill with an elevation of 600 meters and above is termed as a mountain. The mountains have small summit and broad base. The plateau, it is a flat topped tableland that stands above the surrounding area. Okay, children, now let's recall the lesson by watching a mind map. Shall we? Now we are children. Now we are learning the lesson major landforms of the earth, isn't it? Yes. So in this first we learnt about major landforms. The landforms are the surface of the earth is not same everywhere. Some parts of lithosphere may be rugged and some may be flat. The landforms are the natural features on the Earth's surface. The valleys, mountains, plains, and hills are the example of landforms. So, under these landforms, we learnt about formation of landforms. The formation of landforms are shaped by two processes, which take process on the Earth's crust. The two processes are internal process and the external process. Next, we learnt about mountains. Mountains in many natural elevation of the earth's surface, and the mountains may have a small summit and a broad base. There are three types of mountains. They are fold mountain, block mountain, and volcanic mountains. Then move on, plateau. It is a flat topped tableland that stand above the surrounding area. It is also known as high plateau or tableland. See, if you take an example, the Deccan Plateau in India, Eastern African Plateau in Kenya, and Western Plateau of Australia. The plateaus are rich in minerals and they are the hub of mining industries. After that, we learnt about plains. The plains are a large area of land which relatively low relief. They are the most densely populated region of the world. If you take an example, Ganga and Brahmaputra plains. After that, move on, landforms and the people. So there are different people have the different lifestyle in the different landforms, isn't it? Yes. Humans have been living on different kinds of landforms in different ways. Life is difficult in mountains it compared to plains. It is easier to grow crops and build a houses or a road on a plain than a mountain, isn't it? Yes. After that, we learned the glossary word mountain. A mountain is any natural elevation of the earth's surface. The mountains may have a small summit and a broad base. Okay, children, I hope you understood the lesson. For better understanding, you can follow the video with your textbook. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.